Welcome back to a new video. So I will have a unique video out that is the day after this one that is talking about fake natties and statistics and stuff like that. That was inspired by the Jeff Nippard video that I'm sure some of you have seen. If you haven't, it is an interesting watch, but basically, fake natties and all of that stuff is something that is pretty common in the fitness industry, and I just wanted to look at some statistics or just kind of think through it a little bit aloud, and so that will be that video there. But this is two different training sessions, and I love this shirt. I was so happy when I saw it on eBay. I was getting some shirts for the beginning of the school year because as a PE teacher, I can just get athletic shirts, and when they get worn out, then they become training shirts. But this one I bought specifically for training because it reminds me of those Kolokov videos where he has a similar, I think a singlet that's similar to this kind of design. But yeah, it's fantastic. That snatch, not so much. But I really like this shirt, so I'll probably wear it every single week. At least as soon as I wash my clothes, I'll probably wear it again. Because honestly, it feels really comfortable as well. So I wanted to get more of them, but they only had this color. But I mean, honestly, I wanted this color anyway. But I just wanted to get as many of them as I could. So I'll be on the hunt for more of them. This is actually an extra large shirt, which normally I go 2XL. So it's a little, not really tight, but a little bit more form-fitting, which isn't it's actually not uncomfortable at all, so very happy with that. But this session I did a lot of snatches, a lot of snatches, so I was trying to just make them move well, and I just wanted to do in theory a bunch at 110, but you see here just some of the struggles I was having at 100. Eventually I did enough, those two in a row that were good enough to where I went up to 105, which the 105 I believe I did it twice and they both looked pretty good. Let's see what the second one looked like. Yeah, so like both the 105s felt good. And then I went up to 110 and you kind of see some of the struggles with that. I ended up doing a single down at 100 after that. Yeah, I missed 110 and then I made, this was a good 110. Yeah. And then I believe I made it again, but it was difficult. You see I was kind of annoyed there because of how easy it felt. And really with the reason I'm doing a session like this, doing 4,000 snatches, and if you saw the hang snatch one, doing a bunch of there, and the block snatch that I did the day before that, I think I tried 110 like 8 times for doubles, so I was like 16 attempts with it. What I kind of realized these last couple sessions is all of the strength work that I've been doing has worked. Like I have plenty of capacity to do all of these snatches. I'm not recovering from them. I am being able to attempt them. Now the technique is not good, but from a recovery standpoint I was like, I just need to do more of the lifts. Like I just have to do more snatches until they start to just work. And that was kind of my conclusion before I did the session. I was like, I just need to keep practicing the lift because I have the strength capacity for it, and if that means that I'm not able to front squat very well or whatever during the week, then that's fine because I want to get better at snatches, not necessarily get better at front squats. But after I did all of those snatches, I did the clean jerk complex, which I believe I posted the 100 kilogram one I did of this on Instagram and as a short. But one press, one push press, one jerk. I tried to do 106, which would have been a PR. I actually tried to do 106 2 straight days as far as strict press. Wasn't able to do it either day. 105 is my best, but you kind of have to cheat it to actually get it up there. But one thing that's been really helping with push presses and jerks lately is looking back at the old competition I did last year and seeing how I did jerks there, where my dip was kind of short, but it was really aggressive and fast, and trying to reinforce that with the push presses and with the jerks has been really helpful. So I'm still trying to have a deeper dip, but trying to be much more intentional about feeling the bar kind of as I'm bringing it down, feeling it absorb into my clavicle and then whip, almost in a sense whipping it up. But you can kind of see here, this is a 115 double I did. So trying to still dip and drive straight down. And the push presses are nice as well because I have to push it back, which is going to obviously help with the jerks as well. But just trying to be a lot more aggressive with the jerk and trying to not necessarily bring it down into that bottom point, just aggressively bring it down, or dip drive. Here I did some snatch pulls where I tried to get all of the reps above the belly button, did it at that 115 as well, which I think I need to have more of my pulls there because I think in the next day you'll see like I snatched well, and I think it's partially from just being more aggressive on these pulls probably helped with that. Obviously doing a bunch of snatches on the prior day was useful as well. But what was I saying? So like I said, wow, I forget what I was saying, but did the snatch pulls at 115. The push presses, oh yeah, the dip drive. So just being more aggressive with that, and has helped them feel better and helped them get into a better groove, which you'll see in the next session in this video. That, you know, a lot of the push presses and the jerks look pretty good, or at least for me they felt really good. And you know, getting up to 130 in the push press is kind of just, you know, objectively heavy percentage for me. I think my best push press is 132 or 3, so I kind of forget there. I was a lot more sore on this day, but I still lifted well. I think the hardest part of this session, especially getting started, was my hands were kind of raw. So I had to kind of deal with that, but ended up not using thumb tape or anything just because it's just so sweaty out here. I mean, it was still super hot. I was waiting till the evening to train, and it was still just really muggy in the shed, which isn't really bad for training. You just get really sweaty. So that's kind of like the hardest thing to manage, is just being drenched in sweat. But dealing with the heat isn't necessarily too bad. I think it would be a lot worse if I was doing actual like CrossFit, like trying to really push cardio. I think there you could have potential issues with recoverability. But here, just doing some muscle snatches to warm up, and no hook grip with them, but doing them with contact just to kind of go through the range of motion. Just did 50 and 70 here. I wasn't really sure I'd lift very well when I was doing these. I was like, I don't really feel that good, but just kind of had that aggression today. As you know, a couple of videos ago, talking about, you know, sadder subject, but you know, there's, you know, life stuff that goes on that I don't really get into too many details about. Thankfully, my life's pretty stable, and there isn't really too much, you know, positive or negative as far as the extremes that go on. So my life is pretty stable in that regard. But you know, sometimes things happen and you feel different, and then obviously things become exacerbated when there's really negative things, like I, you know, talked about in that video. So it's nice to have the weights. The weights never leave, and the weights are always there for me to be aggressive with. And that's how I've always kind of taken out negative emotion, is just try to be aggressive with the weights. And that's one thing that's nice with weightlifting, is that you can just attack the weights, and being upset oftentimes allows you to lift better, especially if you're trying to lift precisely. Sometimes it can backfire, like with that 100 there, that looked kind of ugly. But if you focus in like I did with that 105, then you can lift better like you did with this 110. One thing I was really trying on this session was to try to be really consistent with my start. So I adjust my hands 6 times, I then count to 4, and then essentially that means like I'm going at that point, but I'm counting to 3, and then on that third breath, like I'm just committing to going. And for clean jerks, I haven't really necessarily needed that as much, but I feel like with snatches, I just wait too long, and I just overthink it, especially as the weights get heavier, and I just have to commit to it a lot earlier. And I think that's one reason I snatched well on this day. The snatches, even the 115, everything felt good, so I was really happy with that. I really wanted to go up, but I knew the Saturday's gonna be the heavy day, at least, you know, where I go really heavy on the snatch and clean jerk, or at least try to. So I wanted to leave it to there. I really thought I had a chance at 106 on this day based on how that 103 felt, but it just wasn't there. And instead of doing the complex on this day, I just waved down back to 70 and started the next exercise. So overhead press to push press, and then really easy 110, or at least a pretty easy one. There, I'm feeling my knee, not because I'm hurt or anything, but it actually brushed off my knee wrap and it made like a weird noise. And there, actually on that 130 as well, it did it on both legs. So it was just hanging out. I guess I was keeping the bar close, but I was really concerned that I like ripped something on the wrap or whatever. But it just made, I don't know, like like a rubber band type noise, I guess. But then missed that first 130 because I pushed out in front a little bit. And here, just really locked in. You kind of see the better dip drive. And that's always, when my dip drive is good, then my push press is good. And it makes me want to do 135. It makes me want to get up to the 140. I think 135 would be the next kind of PR number that I'd be looking for the push press. And we kind of need that. It's weird. It's like my legs twitching in response to watching these videos. I'm getting a muscle response to that. Maybe that's why I'm so jacked. I watch all my videos back and get double training effects, but I think it's just probably some effects from the caffeine from the coffee I'm drinking. But here with the clean jerks, definitely fatigued at this point, but I knew if I had that aggressive dip drive and was aggressive with my feet as well, that's really the big difference with split jerk, is trying to be aggressive with that dip drive, but trying to really move my feet out as wide as I can. And then there, 140, jumped all the way to 153, because I'm sick of doing 150. And if I want to do 160 on Saturday, then I need to be able to do 153 prior to that. And the 153 wasn't super easy, but I was happy that, you know, it was as good as it was. Front squats didn't really go well on this day. I was pretty fatigued at this point, frankly. I mean, between the last couple of days and in this day, just kind of cooked with it, but cooked from all the lifts. But got up to 160 here, and honestly, 160 felt pretty good. And then jumped to 180, which I honestly thought I'd be able to do, but it started to slip down a little bit, and it was just too far out in front. I could have chalked up more and stuff like that, but I honestly thought about trying it again, but I was just kind of tired at that point, and I was like, you know, I did 160, that's fine, and I felt like 180 was there. But you know, we'll kind of see what kind of lifts I have on Saturday. I'm going to be going up to a different gym in the area to do my lifting on Saturday, so that will be fun. It's only 40 minutes away from my house, or 45 minutes, especially on a Saturday without traffic, so I'll be able to go there occasionally if I like going there. So it's kind of an experiment in that regard. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I just got more weeks before, you know, school gets underway and life gets busy in that regard, and only have one more assignment to do for a grad school class, and I'm all done with all my master stuff. Then I just have to worry about the continuing education credits that I'll be doing for the contractual stuff to, you know, get higher on the pay scale. But yeah, everything is moving well in that direction. This weekend is going to be quite busy. I'm going to be, like I said, going to that gym on Saturday, and then my friend's funeral on Sunday, and then a reunion thing with old teachers I worked with on Monday. So I'm actually a social butterfly this weekend, although I kind of wish the Sunday one wasn't one, but not much you can do about that. But anywho, that's going to be it for this one. If you made it to this point, I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.